Hello guys, so welcome to another review. This time I want to show you a different subject than I usually do. This review was requested by Andy. I've been showing this kit off to a few of the guys in the community because it kind of impressed me, and to me it looks like an amazing vehicle and a very good kit. Of course, I haven't built it, so I don't know how good it is, but you know, it seems to be a very nice kit from a pretty new company, or at least new to me. And I kind of like these First World War vehicles a lot, and I don't think they get represented enough. There's just a few kits of this type, and of course, this is also the 100th year of the start of the First World War, so it kind of seems fitting to do this kind of thing. And I want to review this kit with you guys. I'm going to show you how good this kit is. I also want to say that this is the second time I've tried to make this review, so all the bags will be opened because I've tried before and it failed because my camera wasn't focusing correctly, so it was all blurred and all that. So let me show you how this kit looks like. So here first we have the box art, which in my opinion is very good, very nice looking, very good for this company. Everything's very balanced. I loved it. Then we have the versions that kit comes with. This is the box art version here, and this is the one I actually am going to make a model, which is a version called Fantoma. And I think this is, I like this, but this one captured my imagination immediately. Very nice rendition of the vehicles and their colors. Then you have, as usual, the box art on the side of the box, and sprue layout with the decal layout as well on the other side, and the same again. So when we first opened the box, or at least for me, the thing that first struck me was how big this vehicle was. I've shown this to a few guys on the community, like I said, and I've shown this near my King Tiger, and it's exactly the same length as a 1/35th scale King Tiger. But this was an actually pretty big tank. I'm going to show you the upper hull, because the assembly on this kit is different from the others. It starts with the upper hull, and it's a single piece upper hull, and I don't need the cardboard to show you this. The detail is actually pretty good in my opinion. Of course, this is a very simple vehicle in terms of detail, at least surface detail, but I think they did a very nice job doing this upper hull piece. It does seem to be a very nice detailed kit. As you can see, it's a 2013 kit. And it really looks good in my opinion. I think it's just land battleship looking, I think it was either Amilcar or Andy maybe, or maybe Shane, I'm not sure, but that, they actually use this term, and I agree with it. It looks like a land battleship, and it's gorgeous in that regard. And for me, that I really like weird looking vehicles, it's a very nice looking kit. So now we have the running gear, or most of the running gear, 2 screws, exactly the same. One of them's already open, so I'm going to show you that one. This comes with a very nice detail in my opinion. Let's start by looking at the machine guns, for example. Here they are. I think they look really nice. And then you have all the springs here. These are what seem to be rollers on the front of the vehicle, which was this. They were actually, I think, to help the vehicle go past the trenches, because many of the photographs I've seen of this vehicle have him stuck in the trenches. So cumbersome it was that, you know, it got stuck many times. But, you know, all in all, it's a very nicely detailed kit, as you can see here and here, for example. You can also see this part here. Seems to be rather nicely detailed. Of course, this is nothing out of the ordinary, but I think you guys can agree that there's almost no flash. Detail's pretty good, and it seems to be a very nice vehicle to build. I'm not sure because I haven't done so yet. Now, this kit comes with what seems to be working tracks, single link tracks, and they have a beautiful detail in my opinion. They have some attachment points, but they're thin. They're large, but they're thin, so they do not seem very hard to clean, and it's workable. So, you know, it might give you some work, but in the end I think it'll be worth it, because it's just, you know, a wonderful thing to have, working tracks with the kit. So you can see some of the detail here, and I think it's actually pretty good. So two screws in this, and then we have the screw that I think is for the top of the hull and one of the hull sides. So what we have here is cupolas. I'm not going to say commander cupolas. One of them surely is, but probably there's more than that to them. And, you know, I have no knowledge about this, no correct knowledge about this tank, so I'm going to assume they're cupolas. They're these parts here. They seem to be two-part assemblies, so some filling might be needed. We'll have to go back to some photographs to see that. But it does come with a nice detail all around. You can see it here. Then you also have a two-part gun, which I don't really like that much, because, you know, it's they should have divided or subdivided this into several parts. I would rather have that. But, you know, it's a small gun, so it might just get away with it. And they're probably not much experienced kit builders yet. This seems to be the plate that houses both the main gun and the machine gun in the front. So that would be front barrel plate here. And I really like the detail, the rivet detail on this one. I don't know if they're extremely accurate, but they look good. That's for sure. Up to this point, I don't see any ejector pin marks that, you know, are misplaced or something. They all seem to be in places that you never see. It will be hidden in the end, so I don't think we're going to have any problem with that. Here we have the bottom hull plate or floor, and some of the rear hull and front hull bow plates. They're also very nicely detailed. Here we have a sort of a keg or something, or maybe another roller, I'm not sure, but you know, I'd like to call your attention to the way they molded this. It seems to be that they did it really well. They did a two-part assembly on this, but one that seems to hide all the seams. And if that is so, you know, I applaud them. This is a good idea. I have been noticing that, you know, I seem to see a lot of that release mold agent, or mold release agent. So I would advise you to, you know, wash this first before you start, because it's kind of, I wouldn't say greasy, but yeah, there's something to it. You know, I would advise you to do that if you want to build this. There's also the figure, as I had said before, Now, the figure doesn't seem to me as a very detailed figure. It does kind of soft, and of course you can do a nice job with it if you really want to, but I don't even really, well, this is a personal opinion, of course, guys, so take it with a grain of salt, but I think the pose isn't all that great for this model. There's some more detail here. I don't know what this is, but it seems to be the exhaust. It does seem to have had some sort of springs beneath the exhaust, so it's nicely detailed and rendered. I like that a lot. So on to the next part. It does have a lot of parts, but it's not a crazy amount of parts. I mean, the tracks would be your biggest problem in that regard, but all the rest seems to be pretty straightforward. We'll get there when we examine the instructions, but it seems to be pretty straightforward. Once again, some very nice detail here, for example, here, and also on these parts here. Very interesting. These seem to be mud guards or something like that. And yes, there's a little bit of flash, but I don't think it's anything to really get worried. I mean, this is very easy to clean up and to work with. The plastic seems to be also not too hard, that is, not too brittle as well, but also not too soft. So it seems to be just perfect, and I believe it will be very fine to work. Oh, there's a bit of flash here. See it here? But once again, very easy to deal with. All the rest is perfectly clean, no flash, no problems. So now I have a decal sheet, and I'd like to point out something, which is every sprue, came bagged in its own bag, including the instructions and the decals, which came sealed in this bag, like this. But I opened them before just to make a review, so that makes, I can't do that now. So here I have the decals. They seem to be very nice and registered, very thin, and I think they're, I haven't taken them out of the bag, but they seem to be matte. At first look, very much matte. So here are the decals. And now let's go for the instruction book. So it says first that the Chamond was the second French heavy tank of the First World War, with 400 manufactured from April 1917 to July 1918. Born of the commercial rivalry existing with the makers of the Schneider CA-1 tank, the Chamond was an inadequate and underpowered design. Its principal weaknesses was the caterpillar tracks. They were much too short in relation to the vehicle's length and heavy weight, 23 tons. So yeah, so booklet comes in a stapled format, very nice magazine type paper with a sheen on the outside, full color. Not that it comes with many colors, but it's full color. And on the inside, you have black and white instructions. That's it. So first of all, you have all the caution: don't eat your model, don't drink your paints, all that crap, as well as the paint call out, which comes in Tamiya colors. That's what they recommend. And probably this is what I'm going to use. How to apply the decals and how to remove the photo etch. This kit doesn't come with photo etch, but I'm assuming this is something they have for every kit they make. So then we have the parts layout, not numbered, which is a shame, but anyway, it's here. You can see it. And at first sight, all the instructions seem to be very clear and very well defined in many steps, which is good. I mean, sub-assemblies, and then you place the sub-assemblies. So it's very clear, very nicely done. Doesn't seem to have any omissions, at least that I can see at first glance. Let me just have a look something here. Okay. So, you know, it seems to be very interesting and very clear. So, like I said, the whole construction starts with the top of the hull, as you can see here. I was forgetting that, which is very different from what we do usually. We start with the running gear and then the lower hull, and then you proceed with the rest of the top of the hull. Then you go to the front hull plate. You got the machine guns and the gun. And you keep going. The paper is really nice. It's not, I mean, it's not premium paper, but it's not that really newspapery kind of thing. So we still go on with the top of the, the upper hull. I'd like to point out that they have some placeholders to fix the, you know, both the top and lower hull, or spacers or something, so it doesn't get misplaced probably. Then we go at step 14, we start the assembly of the lower hull. So it starts with the lower hull plate. We keep going with the lower hull plate. Here I think we're getting to the phase where we are starting to work on preparing the running gear placement and you know, suspension bars and all that. Then keep going with the sprocket wheel assembly and yeah, sprocket wheels here, idlers, and then we get to the running gear itself. Now this seems to be a bit more fiddly. I mean, it starts by being constituted of many parts, then you add on to these parts and you make the whole running gear and then lower part of the lower hull until you get this huge sub-assembly with the road wheels, which, by the way guys, there are steel road wheels, so that means no rubber tires. And we finally get at the completion of the running gear as a, you know, independent module. This is very nice. I like this because this helps us in painting and weathering a lot, in my opinion. And then you finally glue the lower, you know, the running gear to the lower hull. And once that is done, you add the what seems to be the mud guards, and only then you add the upper hull, as you can see here. Then you finish off with a few details, such as the front and back lower bow plates. And finally get to the track assembly at step 42. So here you can see it's a workable track assembly, and it seems to be very, very nice. And I'm looking forward to building this and building the tracks, because this should be a very nice and wonderful and interesting vehicle with interesting detail and features of the model itself. And here in the last step 43, you have the finished vehicle and a very rough and simple instruction for the figure. So it's 43 steps. Then you have the marking and paintings guide, which is in black and white. which I don't think is a problem because, you know, the side of the box, you have a very nice representation of the colors of the vehicle. And of course, here you can have an idea of how the camo should be applied, even if it's in black and white. So I don't think this is a problem. I also ordered a set of Jazeworks masks for this version of the Saint Chamond. You know, Andy pointed them, you know, just got me the link, and thank you, Andy, thank you for that. It was very useful. So I ordered them from Lucky Model, and they should be arriving in about 2 weeks. Well, I'm still not going to start this for a long time. So, so this is the Saint Chamond. In my opinion, a very nice and interesting subject. Also a very nice kit. It doesn't come with photo etch or anything, but at first sight it doesn't seem to be needing one, so I won't be buying one. If I can find a good gun barrel for this, I will go for that. But just because this is a two-part assembly and I don't really like that. But apart from that, I would say this is a very interesting subject. I would recommend this kit to anyone, although I haven't built it yet, just out of the box. And I hope you like this, guys, and if you want to request me any reviews, please do so, okay? Thank you, guys. Bye. Keep modeling. Bye.